Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Right now, President William Ruto is in the Mount Kenya region. And before Ruto stepping in Mount Kenya, one day earlier, the Kakamega Senator, Boni Khalwale, talked to William Ruto and Raila Odinga. In fact, he was offering his advice. And his position is that Ruto and Raila Odinga have told the Kenyans that they are uniting the country. That is the aim that they had in a broad-based administration they have as of now. Unite all the entire country, all tribes in the country. That indeed you want to put the country together. And for you to do this, according to Boni Khalwale, please look for Gachagua. Before you tell us we are uniting the country, look for Gachagua. He went on to point on various issues that he feels is the reason why they should look for Gachagua. The two meetings that Gachagua had, one, these were very actually political meetings, just rallies like what Ruto would have today and tomorrow in Mount Kenya. The one that he had at Naivasha. Second meeting, he had at Kajiado. In fact, there were about 3 meetings. If you go and look at that, there was heavily armed police officers. They were armed with the tear gas canisters. And you ask a question, why would a police officer come to a peaceful meeting like this one with the tear gas? The only thing you can do in a rally like this, you want to disperse people. Was Gachagua at danger to do so? Wale police ambao wamepatana na president hawakuangi na tear gas. But these guys had tear gas. The aim may be to disrupt the meeting. That is Boni Khalwale. People are saying Boni Khalwale is a political chameleon. But when you listen to this statement, what message do you get? And where is Boni Khalwale heading to with this kind of statement? A senator elected on UDA ticket, majority whip in the Senate also, cutters of UDA party.
Mheshimiwa Raila, na nia yako Mheshimiwa President ilikuwa kwamba mnataka Wakenya wote muweke pamoja wawe kitu kimoja. Ningependa kumwambia Rais na Raila kwamba walio wanasema mahala penye nyuki hutengenezea asali, kwa hiyo kitu inaitwa beehive. Walio wanasema wakati asali inaiva huwa inaiva pembe zote. Upande huu Raila asali, upande huu Ruto asali. And if indeed tunataka kuweka Wakenya pamoja, President Ruto na Prime Minister Raila, tafuteni yule mwanaume anaitwa Rigathi, mkalishe chini, msikiza anataka nini. Hatutaki aanze kusungusha siasa ya kusema kwamba Wakikuyu watengwe katika agenda ya Kenya. We want Kikuyus to be treated just like Luyas, just like Luos, just like Kalenjins, just like all Kenyans. Nimeona Rigathi amekuwa na mkutano hapa Naivasha jana. Nikaona mapolisi wamejaa. Kajiado hivyo. No.
Now, we want to critically look at Boni Khalwale's statement. But before we go deep into this, just a quick request. For those who are watching this channel and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much. And back to our discussion. Now, in my view, there is half truth in Boni Khalwale's statement, but again, a political lesson for Rigathi Gachagua to learn going forward. Why a political lesson for Gachagua? Because I'm sure Going forward, Gachagua, if he get position of power, he will not be the same Gachagua we had in the beginning. At least he has learned something. Unless kama yeye ni mgumu wa kujifunza chochote kabisa. Because if Gachagua was in power the way he was in the beginning, he will do the same thing Ruto is doing to him. Ngekuwa yeye ndiye ako power na watu wa Azimio ndio wako huko kwingine. He will deploy heavily armed police officers to disrupt their meetings. Because anytime he got a chance, that is what he used to do to Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. So we cannot just defend Gachagua blindly. We have to tell him that you are doing the same, but it is time to learn. Because then we are not here to support two wrong, because two wrong does not make right. Gachagua was wrong, William Ruto is wrong. So they were both wrong. In as much we condemn William Ruto, we also tell Gachagua the truth. Angekuwa ni yeye ako kwa power, vile anaangaishwa na polisi saizi, is the same thing he will do to Raila Odinga. It's the same thing he will do to people like Jeremiah Kioni, people like Martha Karua, Uhuru Kenyatta. Angefanya hivyo. But now he's learning his own lesson that any other time, once you have power, you must know that power is fluid. Power is just for some time. Power is not permanent. So he's learning his lesson. But then, what Khalwale is addressing here is that you, William Ruto and Raila Odinga, you can't be telling us that you are uniting the country when you are deploying heavily armed police officers to go and stop Gachagua from meeting the people. Uniting the country does not mean that you bring Gachagua to the government side, in my view. But it is just by allowing Rigathi Gachagua to do his things freely. Then you counter him politically. But not using security officers. They are independent. But how independent are they? Let Gachagua have freedom to come to Western, to go to Nyanza, to go to Rift Valley, to go to Mount Kenya and elsewhere. And even when necessary, give him that security to say what he wants to say. Then you can counter him politically. That is the unity that we should be looking for. Whereby even those who disagree with you, they have a freedom to say that without any fear. That is the unity that we should be looking for. But you can't tell us that you are uniting the country when you are blocking some leaders from meeting the people and expressing themselves freely, criticizing you freely, and oversighting you. That is not the unity we are looking for. So to that extent, even Gachagua shared those images, you can see them. To that extent, there is no unity that Ruto is telling us here. Instead, it is the opposite. Because once you start treating Gachagua like this, it's signs of isolation. As if he does not have such rights. As if he's not a leader. So you are kind of isolating him, and that will go into the people's mind so deeper, and the tribal card will come in that sasa watu wa Mount Kenya wameanza kuwa isolated. You look at that? So the tribal card will come in. To that extent, Khalwale is right. But then, you cannot be telling the people that you're uniting, that Mount Kenya has been isolated just because some people who have been close allies to Gachagua wamesogezwa kando na wengine ambao sio kutoka kwa Gachagua wamepewa nafasi. Even William Ruto exposed himself that the purge that happened in the parliament, total seat they have opposition is 25. Out of 25, Mount Kenya had 12. Rift Valley had 9. Put together, it is 21. Imagine 2 tribes, which does not even form half of Kenya, holding to 21 out of 25. Zinabaki 4. Hizo ndio wamegawia wa Kenya wengine. Look at that. Tribalism at another level. So they had to reduce wale 12 warudi 9, which is still very high number. Ni watu wa Raila wapate nafasi kadhaa pale. Wale 9 wa Kalenjin wapunguzwa wabaki 6. Ndio sasa hawa watu wa Raila pia wapate nafasi. So look at that. I think that's not the unity we are looking for that. Watoa watu wa Gachagua warudisha na tukue na unity Kenya when they have more than what they need to have. To be fair, kama kuna those divisions, Mount Kenya should have just 6 or 5. Kalenjin should just have 3 or 2 that other tribes will have. Hata tukienda hivyo, Kalenjin is your second largest community, ni Luyas. So that means if there is that division ratio, then those who should be the second after Mount Kenya, it should be Western region. Then Nyanza and Rift Valley should have equal numbers. Luos na Kalenjin wako equal in numbers. So if they are giving Kalenjin 6, Luos should also get 6. And if you are giving Kikuyus 9, Luyas should be 9 or 8. There should be 8 there. There's no equality in that. So at the end of the day, the issue of political chameleon comes in. Khalwale might be out of UDA party. He's looking on how to vie for the governorship of Kakamega. Fernanda's brother is serving first term in office. He will be seeking for re-election. ODM will never front another. Hii andika chini kabisa. Wachana na mambo ya kina sijui woman rep wanakuja pale na kelele mingi. ODM will never, I'm using the word never, front another candidate in Kakamega other than the sitting governor, Fernanda's Baraza, FCPA. Hawataweka mwingine. So Khalwale anaona Ruto anafanya na Raila. So the favored candidate ni huyo. Labda hawa wataomba waseme Vihiga wacha sisi tuweke candidate or whatever. Because now UDA na ANC imekuwa ni kitu moja. So they will have that agreement or pia hawa waeke wao. So Khalwale anaona maybe he's not a favored candidate. So you have to rush to the other side, and I see a possibility of Khalwale joining DAPK party to contest for the governorship of Kakamega County. But I don't see him winning.